Tara Cherie here with you, and it's just been a really long time since we connected, and I just want to say thank you so much for being so patient with me and just hanging in there with me a little bit. I thought that our Facebook Live times over the summer were going to work in my home office here, and it just wasn't a consistent, committed schedule, and so I just want to ask for forgiveness on that, but I am back. We're going to be meeting 2 days a week. Allison, it's really nice to have you. So we're going to be meeting every Tuesday and Thursday is my hope, keeping my fingers crossed, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to kind of change the scope of how we do Facebook Lives here. If you are just joining us for the first time, I want to say thank you. If you're joining again, I also want to say thank you about that. And here's the thing, you guys, I want to shift our gears more towards health and towards helping moms and pregnant moms and nursing moms, and I want to focus a little bit more on health and nutrition overall. And I'm really passionate about it. First of all, just to kind of give you a brief background on why I'm doing this. I'm 35 years old. Yes, I know I'm still young, and I'm admitting what my age is to you. I don't look 35, I know that too, but great nutrition and doing the right things for your body makes a huge difference, including self-care, including sleep, including your rest, and it's really difficult to do all of that around children, okay? So I want to be able to teach you and show you how to be able to do some of these things. So we're going to be covering different topics. I lost my mother a few years ago after my second daughter, and my dad was facing quadruple bypass surgery about 6 months later, and it made me really passionate that that is not the path that I wanted to go. By the way, these are two parents who actually took care of their bodies. My father actually works out pretty extensively and is pretty good weight-wise, pretty decent shape. I wouldn't say I'm in top shape, but I would say that I've definitely been working on it. I started my second detox, 28-day detox here, and I've done several other 7-day detoxes. I totally believe in taking care of your body. I totally believe that you should be detoxing your body at least once a month, I had somebody actually ask me the other day, so I just don't understand detox. Like, why would you want to detox your body, every month, let's say? I believe if you eat right, you're good. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. Okay, and I'm going to get into my topic and what I'm really talking about today here in just a second, but you guys, this is really important. I really want to concentrate on the importance of what I'm saying here with you. Here's the thing, you guys. So you have to understand something, okay? Toxins are not just going to be flushed out because you ate right and you drank, however much water. This is actually my hydrate. It's something that I put in my water daily. Okay, that gets the electrolytes going. It's not enough to just drink water and say you're done with it. It doesn't really hydrate your body enough, okay? And it's gonna flush some of the food out if you drink a lot of water, but it's not gonna take care of everything, okay? The other thing is, your skin is a living, breathing organism, okay? You could go outside and your body absorbs toxins from the environment that, yes, are resting and sitting in your body. So you need to be able to take care of those too. Okay, the other thing is we can't avoid everything that we touch. Okay, we enter buildings, we touch doorknobs, doesn't matter how many times we use hand sanitizer, okay? The bottom line is some of that is still gonna get in our system. Our children, which is my focus today, okay, I'm gonna talk about different things all the time, okay? So you're gonna hear lots of information, okay? Our children should be the focus. Okay, and I'm not just speaking to moms, I'm speaking to dads, I'm speaking to older children. Okay, so something that we really need to understand is that good habits, they start young. Our children are particularly susceptible because unless you're homeschooling, they're entering, and you control what products you use. The school doesn't necessarily clean with, organic products, okay, that are safe for the environment, that are safe to ingest. Those products are also going into our children, okay? Another thing is when we enter a classroom setting, okay, kids touch things. We don't know what environments that these other children or these other staff members came from, okay? And I'm just giving you kind of a heads up. I'm not just narrowing that to schools. That could be anywhere that you go. That could be, after school practices. That could be classes that your child is taking after school. That could be anything, okay? Really, the bottom line is this, is that we can't avoid it, okay? Toxins, germs, whatever, they're everywhere, okay? But what we can do is focus on what we can do something about, okay? And that is, first of all, by example, modeling to our children, okay, good, healthy habits. And something really struck me the other day. I don't want to make this too lengthy, but I thought this was really good, and I just wanted to share it with you. My daughter was actually telling me that she said, "Mom, I really need to eat healthy." That really touched my heart and made my jaw drop. And I was like, tell me more about that. What makes you think that you need to eat healthy? And my daughter just came to me and said, this is my oldest, she's 8. And I have an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old, and all girls. And my oldest came to me and she said that, and she said, because Mom, you eat healthy, and I see the things that you're eating, and I want to do that too. 8 years old, and she's getting it. Something's clicking. It's so important to start doing something that you can do something about. Listen, I'm not suggesting that you replace all of your cleaners at once. I'm not even suggesting that you replace all your food choices at once. I'm not saying that you should cut everything out all at once. The truth is, I progressively did it in our household, okay? And I had the commitment. I sat my husband down and I talked with him about what I wanted to change in our household and our family dynamic. I've been on kind of this health journey for a little over a year now, and at first it was just to be healthier, and then I got pregnant and we had our youngest daughter who's now 8 months. But it kind of has evolved from that, it's not just about being healthy, okay? It's about, being able to keep up with my children. It's about being proactive in my health, because all it takes is me going to the grocery store, for example, and I see the number of people that let themselves go. They're way overweight. They're not making healthy choices. They have all kinds of pain in their back, they have swelling and inflammation in their legs, they can't hardly stand it, they're having difficulty just living everyday life, and their quality of life isn't there. It's lacking, it's suffering. It's like, why would I really want to see people suffer? Why would I want to see myself suffer? Well, if I can get healthy and help other people in the process, not that I had all those things, because I absolutely didn't. I'm actually pretty relatively healthy. My blood work is great. I've been working out. Today is day 55. I'm just starting a workout boot camp today. I haven't gotten to the video yet. I'm going to do that after this, okay? I want you to hold me accountable to that. I'm giving you permission to do that, because it takes a tribe to stay on track, and I don't want to do this thing alone. I want people to come alongside of me, because I believe in whole health. Okay, and I believe health is not just what we eat, it's how we treat our bodies, but we've got to start somewhere, okay? And I really want to talk to you about this, and then, I'm going to leave an open call for you to kind of come aboard and join me, learn more about some of the things that I've been doing. But when my 8-year-old came to me and said that, I'm like, that's longevity. Wanting to eat healthy is longevity. She gets it at 8 years old. I wish I got it at 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I was short and chunky. Okay, I needed to lose weight already at age 8. Okay, a lot of that was situational and some of the things that happened as a child. Okay, but I didn't want that for my kids. Okay, I wanted them to stay healthy. My husband's tall and lean. He's fortunate. But guess what, you guys? Even if you're tall and lean or short and lean, listen, that doesn't even make you healthy. Okay, so it's little things that you can do over time to make big changes. And that's why I'm here with you today. So for example, slowly going in and increasing your water intake, okay? Let's talk about that with our kids. First of all, because my kids are watching me. Your kids are watching you. They're watching us. They watch what we do. What we model, it sticks with our kids. And it's generational, and it's lineage, okay? How many of you really truly want to pass whole health on? How many of you want to live a longer quality of life? Well, it's expensive eating right. It's expensive getting on good supplements. Why does that cost so much? Let me tell you something. Not all quality products are alike. They are not alike. Okay? You may think that they're alike, but they're not. What you're buying in the grocery store is not even comparative to what, you can get out there on the market that's going to really fuel you. I'm not saying, join me, join my movement, okay? I'm just simply saying making changes for the long haul. Because guess what? It's much cheaper than a hospital stay. It's much cheaper than medical bills piling in. It's much cheaper than letting your health suffer and having diseases that are chronic that you have to live with for the rest of your life. And guess what? All of this started by what you were ingesting. So try that on for size, admittedly so. And the same thing with your children, okay? Do you really want your children to wait till they're in their 20s and 30s, 40s, and 50s to realize that they can have a quality of life? No. You want to start nurturing and planting seeds when they're young, okay? So they don't have to deal with some of the things that, thank goodness by the time my third pregnancy hit, I was able to avoid gestational diabetes, and I was able to avoid blood pressure issues. I was able to avoid preeclampsia, but the only way that I was able to avoid those things was starting small. So let's talk about that, okay? In our household, I don't allow, okay, I'm going to share some of the tips and strategies here with you. I don't allow, sodas in my home, okay? We drink water. This is Hydrate. It's just got electrolytes in it. It's actually safe for children, and children actually love this because of the flavor. This is the fruit punch one. It comes in grape too. It's just something that we use, and our kids are always asking for it. I put it in the sippy cup. I put it in the glass. Why? Because I want my kids to stay hydrated. They're active. They're young, and I want them to not get dehydrated. I want them to be healthy. Well, why are you worrying about that? Well, because our kids didn't always drink a whole lot of water, and I had to really recommend and encourage that. Not just for their behavior, but for their sleep and their overall health quality. Okay. And they drink this, at least once a day, sometimes a little bit more than that, depending if mommy has some. It's usually, well, you're having it, so can I have some? So yeah. And especially if they're not always getting the overall water intake, I always just recommend, not even a full scoop, but just half a scoop. And then just for them to drink at least, if I notice, for example, my oldest she's 8, she hasn't drank a whole lot of water for that day, I may even recommend to her, adding at least 1 to 2 bottled waters before she goes back out to play. Sometimes I don't even let her back outside, true story, until she's drinking an extra bottled water. Well, why are you recommending bottled water that can have toxins? I'm not even going to go there on that. I know that already. But what I will say to you, we don't have a filtration system in our home. It is something that I want to consider later down the road. But again, I'm not saying anything to you that I don't practice myself. So it's small steps to a healthier life. Okay. That's why I want to do this, because I want to make it relatable. How many people have a filtration system? Well, maybe some, but not all. Right. And so, our city water isn't safe. And so I do what I have to do. And I do for the kids, especially because kids don't always, let's talk about that, they don't always brush their teeth. How many of you, it's like pulling teeth to get your kid to brush their teeth, right? And to do a really good job. So I always buy on the side fluoride water, or nursery water that has fluoride in it. And then that way they can get that, protection. Fluoride has that protection. And so I know some people will argue that's not true, whatever, I'm not going to get in a debate, but we do that for our kids just because they don't always brush their teeth really well. So I always recommend, before you go back outside, remember, drink some extra water, okay? So that's something that you can teach your kid to do. What do we do before we go outside? You just make it fun. You don't get on top of them about it. Just have them add it to their routine, okay? So just a bottle of water before they go back outside, drink half of a bottle of water before you go to bed, okay? I try not to do it too close to bed because I know that kids are going to want to get up in the night, and sometimes they use it as a stall tactic, right? Well, let me drink my water, okay? If your kids don't like just drinking plain water, let me encourage a few steps that they can take to make drinking water fun. So I always recommend adding just a few berries. They're low in glycemic index, so that means that they have low sugar content, and you can make it kind of fun, and they can pick out which flavor or fruit that they want in their water. that's something that's really fun. And even I do that sometimes because I get kind of bored with it. So, but I always pick something that's low glycemic. And berries are just fun because they're easy. Sometimes my oldest even likes a little bit of a lemon, like a slice of lemon and lime in her water with like a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of mint, and that's great detox water that'll actually really clean out your body. So I always recommend that. And anytime she asks for that, sometimes I'll even add some mint. She likes flavors like I do, so we're always like playing with it, you know, we make it a game, and that makes it fun. And then she's drinking water alongside of me, so it's kind of like challenging her to drink a little bit more water. It's challenging me to drink a little bit more water. So something fun you can do in your household, okay? Another something that you can do if you have, if you do want like kind of something a little bit sweeter, I don't do this all the time, but definitely not while I'm detoxing, okay? But when I'm just kind of like in my maintenance mode and I'm just maintaining, something that I like to do is just to buy some sparkling water. What's fun is you can buy some like either root beer extract, or if you're somebody that likes orange, you can buy orange extract, or you can buy lemon or even lime extract and like make your own 7-Up or make your own root beer. Just add a little bit of truly natural sweetener. I always recommend Swerve just because it's diabetic safe. It doesn't have GMOs in it, and it's not going to affect those that struggle with blood pressure issues. So it's just really safe, and I always recommend that. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot, but you can sweeten it to your liking. Or switching over to shakes. So we'll do shakes and stuff a lot. But I just recommend that if you're going to do that for more of a hydration purpose, you keep your fruits low glycemic. For you may be able to add a banana or add some kiwi, add something that has like a little bit higher sugar content for your kids because they need more calories. So you can kind of like do your half with out the higher glycemic fruits, but just add it for your kids and then serve it to them. So that's something that you could do where you don't have to separate the two. That's always a fun treat. The other thing that I do when I grocery shop, okay, let's talk about some of the extra things that we give our kids. So a lot of times it's cheaper to buy foods and ingredients that aren't as nutritional. Okay, meaning they have like zero nutritional value. They're just empty calories, so to speak. We try to really stay away. We always say shop the parameters of our grocery store. And it's really totally true, okay? Every once in a while, because they do need the extra calories, and even I realize that, okay? I may suggest having something like goldfish crackers, or I may suggest something along the lines of a graham cracker or something. Sometimes I'll even make my own treat, and I'd love to do a Facebook Live where I can, you know, just share a few strategies and maybe a few simple recipes that, you know, we can make together or something. That'd be really fun. I can do that in the future for sure, especially if I get that feedback. But sometimes I don't always even have time, so it's just whatever's convenient, okay? But the problem is, we as a society have made convenience more about foods that are not healthy, okay? So it's like whatever's quick because I could grab it, like a granola bar because it was wrapped. But, you know, with just 10 extra minutes, you can even make your own granola. You could make your own granola bars. You could even make kid-friendly like power balls or power bars that your kids can eat that are so much healthier. But even with yet a little bit more meal and prep time, I would encourage you, my daughter, actually my oldest this year, I think this is so cool, you guys. She's actually attending a school that they promote a fruit and vegetable policy. And this means that they get offered snack twice a day. I love that the school's doing this. I think it's fabulous. I wish all schools went to it. Anyway, they're doing this thing where they only allow fruits and vegetables in the school for snacks. And some of it's like allergen related and stuff, but I always buy organic just because I don't believe in chemically processed, you know, fruits and vegetables and stuff. I know there's debate about that too, but I do believe that organic is best whenever possible. But I always shop the sales too, you guys. So if that week, let's say that one thing that I really like to go to is strawberries and blueberries. And sometimes what I'll do is buy them in an even bigger container. And then what I'll do is I'll separate them out. Okay, and I'll save some for the refrigerator and then some for the freezer. When you freeze blueberries and strawberries, they are great in smoothies. They are great just eating as a frozen treat. So if you're like it's been hot outside, rather than just buying regular popsicles at the store that have added sugars and unnecessary ingredients and are actually worse for your kid, it's like eating pure sugar. And I don't know about you, but 2 of my 3 children are on the spectrum. It's actually a genetic component in my husband's side of the family. It's an uncertain specified gene. And so sugar really impacts my children's behavior. Not so much my toddler, but it does a little bit. It just makes her a little bit more fussier and not want to take a nap right away or not want to go to bed right away. So I just try to really limit it. But it really impacts our oldest daughter. It just really makes her hyper and bounce off the walls. And, when it comes to schooling and schoolwork, they're not able to focus as much because they've had too much sugar, right? And there are times that I want kids to be kids, but there are times that I want my children to be a little bit more focused and centered. And I just don't like the idea of them having so much sugar absorbed in their body, even at a young age. It's about teaching them and grooming them with younger, health habits at a younger age. So that way they're making really good choices when they go on their own. Choices are not just financial decisions. They're not just schooling decisions. It's not just, what you're learning. It's what you're learning in the home too. And if you're going to really groom and teach your kids, why not teach them about their bodies and about their health and about what they're taking in and what they're not taking in, okay? Because that's a part of our job as a parent, or we should take that seriously. Not everybody does, but I believe in taking that seriously. And so I have to teach them how to make good choices, okay? So first, I model those choices, but secondly, I teach them how to do it, okay? So again, I'll buy, blueberries, strawberries organically. I'll put them in the freezer. They make great treats. And it's something that you can do to preserve the fruit too, so that it doesn't go bad, especially if you have a bigger family and you believe in shopping in places, especially if you have a big family. Like Costco can be really great. I know a lot of people like that, or even Amazon shopping. There's some different choices online too now that weren't previously offered back when, okay? Or if you're somebody that likes to pick it out yourself, I believe Whole Foods is kind of expensive, but anyway, I'm not going to debate that, but, there's Trader Joe's, there's Kroger, there's Meijer, wherever you shop, you can usually find them organic and put them in your freezer that way and save some for the fridge. And then what I like to do is I take, one, day out of my week. Okay, I do not, you guys, spend a whole lot of time on food. Let me roll it out to you how it goes. It's real quick in our household, seriously, because I try to keep it as simple and as raw as possible because I want to keep it nutrient rich, nutrient dense, meaning that it's packed with those vegetables and nutrients and vitamins and things that it's not losing that. Same with the fruits, same with everything else we eat. Okay, I limit the meat, okay? I'm trying to get away from eating meat because our bodies don't process and digest it as much or as well or as quickly. And so small quantities is good for protein, but I try to find either protein, like more like plant proteins or alternative sources for proteins. So like I'm big on like dark green leafy vegetables that will also give us good nutrition. So kale, true dark romaine greens are good. Spinach is really good for you. Avocado's good. Some of the bean sprouts are good, but you have to be careful with that. Make sure you're buying quality because those can go bad and cause issues too. Also like different sources of beans. A really healthy one is like chickpeas. I use those a lot because they're relatively reasonable in price and my kids like them and I can make lots of different things with them. Did you know you can actually make brownies with beans? Yes, we can go there in future lives, right? So I don't deprive my kids from having treats, but I just, take, if they haven't got their electrolytes in, I may even take like frozen fruit and just add a little bit of our hydrate to it, which has electrolytes in it, and but not the sugar. Okay, so it doesn't have the sugar that other things do. It also has a lot of B vitamins, which is really good for sustained energy. So it's really good either way. But I might make like freeze pops myself. Just buy popsicle sticks, put them in the mold. I make my own puddings using fruit and chia seed and stick it in and put it in the freezer, and it's good to go. And that's something really simple. You just mix a few ingredients, slam it in the freezer. When we grill, which we do a lot of, I may even buy like my kids really like green beans. They like asparagus. They even like Brussels sprouts if I do it with like the olive oil and the garlic and the sea salt. Okay, so I just throw those in foil along with my meat, and I have my husband grill it all out. That saves me several steps. So rather than being in my kitchen every night trying to decide, okay, what do I need to do for my kids' snacks? Because mornings, I don't know about you, but I mean, how many of you parents are like going crazy in the morning because you're trying to feed the baby, you're trying to nurse them or feed the bottle, then you're chasing your kids around, trying to get clothes on them and trying to make sure they get breakfast and did they do their homework and get everything together. So even though, you know, and if you're like me, I have kids in separate school districts, so it's a lot sometimes. So I have to be really prepared, right? And so anything I could do the night before is saving me time, okay? So rather than spending the night in my kitchen, that's more family time I can have. Or if we've got homework or we've got other things that we need to focus on, I can still do those things with my kids, okay? So that's huge for me, huge, okay? The other thing that I like to do is keep it simple and keep it fresh, okay? So something else that I do, okay, these are organic, okay? These are a snack item. We save money in our food budget. Why? Because we buy things like carrots, peppers, okay, are really good. These are also organic. These were purchased on my behalf and given to me, but I actually like doing them. Sorry, you guys, my phone is blowing up. But I actually like to buy my vegetables raw, not in a bag. But something that I'll do is I'll even take my vegetables, like say my green pepper, this is red pepper, or I take my carrots and I'll put them in containers like this, okay? These are really cheap. I bought these from IKEA a few years ago in like a really big pack. And then I'll just take, so I have 2 kids, right? So these strawberries and these blueberries will be one snack for one kid in the morning time, okay? So I take a day and I divvy them out and distribute them. So Monday's this fruit, Tuesday's this fruit, Wednesday's this fruit, Thursday's this fruit, Friday's this fruit, okay? I may even switch it up and say, hey, I'm gonna put some carrots in one of these containers. Okay, I set my containers of vegetables off of my kids, so I had to grab what I could, okay? But you get my point. And I'll just take some of those carrots and I'll just put them in one of these containers. I'll be like, hey, here's your blueberries and your carrots. True story. Okay, and I do that with all the snacks. So their snacks for school are already prepared in advance. All I'm really doing is swapping in and out fruits and vegetables in their lunchbox. Okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm just changing them out and washing them as they're used. Okay? So that way, when it comes time for my meal prep day, boom, I'm ready to go. Okay? If my husband has grilled during that week, then I may even have part of my meals ready for the following week. Okay? Again, I shop the perimeter of the store. To save money, I do not buy a lot of the extras. We may buy 1 or 2 extras. I do try to shop the sales and I do try to use coupons. Okay, so sometimes we may have a little bit more, especially when meat is like buy one, get one free. But a lot of times with like the vegetables and stuff like that, I just prepare them, you know, as in advance as I can. And then the ones that I can't, because sometimes, you know, you just can't, you got to chop them all up in order to make a salad or whatever you're making for that week. So I just really evaluate. I take one night in my week and I really evaluate, okay, what's in my pantry? What's still in my freezer? What's still in my fridge that I haven't used? And I try not to overbuy even if I have the coupon. So I try to keep my coupons organized, you know, in terms of when they expire. Because sometimes I don't have to use them all right away, so I just save it until I really find a need for it. And then I incorporate my meals around that. And if I'm able to make more than one meal out of something, I'll do that too. I've been known to divide it up into several containers. So this is, you know, 1 meal, this is 2 meal, this is 3 meal, this is lunch on Monday, this is dinner on, or maybe it's dinner on, on Monday, and then it's lunch on Tuesday, and then Wednesday it's also lunch because it's leftovers. Okay, so I try to do it that way too. So if I chop for a little bit of a bigger period of time. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but it saves me down the road, and I don't spend as many days in my kitchen. And I don't spend as much money because I'm not buying all of those extra things. Why? Because with like fruits and, strawberries and blueberries and some of the other fruits, okay, I put them in my freezer so I can whip them out. I don't necessarily always have to continue to buy fresh because I already have a supply in my freezer. So I do a lot of stuff like that. I pick a day of the week. Usually for me, what works best, I know everybody's schedule is different. Just look at your schedule and see where you could squeeze about half an hour to an hour. You'd be really surprised what you can get done. Okay? Because if I threw the, especially like the Brussels sprouts and the asparagus on the grill, or the broccoli maybe even, sometimes I like to throw it in and kind of like mix my meat and my vegetables together and then divvy it out amongst several meals. It's just a really cheap, effective way of doing it. And then I know that I may just need to make my green beans. And we don't eat a whole lot of carbs because, again, I'm limiting that by eating around the parameter of the store. But I'll just cook a portion of, like, let's say brown rice, or if I even notice that sweet potatoes are on sale that week, I may even cut them in half to save more money, more time, okay? And my daughter will eat a half, I'll eat a half. And if there's an extra, and even if she wants that for a snack at school, I'm not opposed to that. And I'll even send that off with her. So these are just some ways to kind of keep things really super simple. Your snack can also be a part of your meal. And it's just really easy that way, because I've even been known to place them in an extra container, and then I just pull and place on the plate. I plate everything. It's done in 5 and 10 minutes. So if I already cooked my green beans, I can just put the green beans on. If the meat was already grilled ahead, usually I try to chop it so that we stretch our meat a little bit more and then serve it that way. And then if I've got some salad, I can pull it out, and dinner was created in less than 5 minutes for our family's 5. It makes it a lot easier. Now, our youngest, she's not completely on full people food yet, so I do have to spend a little bit more time feeding her, let's say nursing her, or feeding her about baby food. But I've even been known at times to even blend my own food. So I may even take from out of there and create my own baby food. Saves a lot of money that way. So we can even talk about that in Facebook Lives. There's so many directions I could take all this. I have so many tips. I've been doing this for so long, for quite some time. But this was just to give you an idea of some tips and strategies for your kids and helping them to make healthier choices, because it also holds you accountable in the end to making much healthier choices. So again, it doesn't take much. You can use your vegetables of choice. We've been known to even use broccoli. We've been known, my oldest, this is weird, but what's so funny? She likes to eat green beans raw. So she'll even eat the green beans raw. I know it's weird. I don't like them like that, but she loves them like that. So, hey, more power to you. So I've even been known to pack some in our containers and say, here, go, right? It saves me so much time. And that's, one less thing that I have to do at night. That's one less thing that I have to do in the morning at breakfast time. And I can even whip out and do the same thing at breakfast. I can even, just grab the berries at breakfast time and say, hey, here you go. It takes 2 seconds. My toddler loves that. My 8-year-old has been known to eat them at breakfast. She eats blueberries for snacks, for breakfast, whatever. So in the summertime, it's really cool because we can go locally if we want. We can pick strawberries. We can pick blueberries. Look for a lot of those places where you can get produce dirt cheap. A lot of times here where I live, I'm in Michigan, a lot of times they'll just have farmers stands randomly on the street. And right now, peaches are big. So you can get all kinds of peaches. You can can those peaches and make those last through the winter. You can make salsas and can those that are healthier, salsas that you can serve with your chicken. You don't have to serve them with chips. There's all kinds of different recipes and tips you can do with that. That's a whole nother Facebook Live. There's so many different options, right? So it's not that eating healthy can't be convenient, okay? It's about choosing to make convenience healthy. I don't know if you caught that, right? We need to change our perception of what fast food is to a healthier option and food source. We don't necessarily have to choose foods that are not nutrient dense. It's just that we think they're more convenient. But what would a little extra added time, 20 to 30 minutes to do this, okay, for your snacks? And this could be morning snack for your kids, afternoon snack for your kids. Maybe you add some containers, I don't know, make some frozen pops with them, add them to a pudding, do pudding pops with them, make a few simple treats that you can rotate, you know, for their lunches, for after school. How much time would that really save you? And even at dinner time in your kitchen, and you're feeding your kids like raw choices that are much healthier, and you're saving so much more money. Yes, the fruit costs a little bit more, but if you, and the vegetables too, but if you buy it in bulk a little bit more and you stretch it out, you're actually saving more over time, because that $1.99 of the chips, that $2 or $3.99 for your popcorn, you know, that $2.99 for your, you know, cookies, that $4.99 for your ice cream, that's all adding up. And pretty soon that's actually costing you more than your fruits and vegetables are. You know, we can debate that all day too. But if they're still hungrier, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, make sure that they're doing this, that your kids are getting enough water intake. Again, this just has electrolytes in it. That's why it's this colored fruit punch flavor. Anyway, it's something that I use that I love. You know, have them drink more water. Increase the water consumption. And another tip too is having them, once they eat a snack, and let's say that they have another bottle of water before they go back outside, have them give it 20 to 30 minutes. Do the 20 to 30 minute rule. I always ask my kids, because my 8-year-old's like, I love her, but she's especially demanding, okay? And she'll be like, but Mom, I want another snack. So just to keep it simple and sweet, what I do with her is I ask her, you know, has it been 20 to 30 minutes since you had your last snack? And it's that stop and pause rule. So I go, stop, pause, listening ears. And she knows what that means. And I'll be, hey, this is the moment to stop. This is the moment to really think, and then to make a healthy choice. Okay? And then I ask her, I'm going to ask you, has it been 20 to 30 minutes since you have eaten something last? If not, even if it's a meal, I say, okay, stop. Let's give it 20 to 30 minutes, and then if you're still hungry, okay, I will give you something more. And I have them choose out of the bins in the refrigerator. The toddler isn't talking as much yet, but my oldest definitely gets this concept. Okay? And she's allowed to have the goldfish. She is allowed to have the popcorn. But what I do tell her is I say, okay, first of all, when it's gone, it's gone. I'm not going back to the store for more. And if you've already had one round of this, and I let her pick her container, okay, because she likes doing that. And then once she's picked that, she's usually pretty reasonable about picking the smallest. We have a little snack container. She just uses one of those, okay. And then I say, okay, once this is gone, what do we need to do? So I just kind of help guide her through it. And I ask her the questions rather than tell her what she's going to do. So she has time to really think about and process some of these decisions that she's making. Because the goal is to add value and have her take ownership with that. I want her to take some ownership with it, you know, because we need to instill these habits. So it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight for us, okay? We just been I've been on the health journey for like 7 years, 8 years total, but you know, really making some hardcore decisions and changes within the last, you know, year and a half, so to speak. So my family's just now really getting on this bandwagon of, hey, help me make healthier decisions kind of thing. My husband's asking me, my kids are asking me. And so I even do this with my husband. I'm like, hey, you know, when's the last time you had a glass of water? Well, I'm bored drinking it. So I do some things with him to make it fun. I don't want to add the Crystal Light and things like that because that's a lot of sugar still. I know they say sugar-free, it's not sugar-free. So I try to find healthier ways to do that with fruit and different things, and you know, teach him some of these things. And he does what I show them. And so sometimes we're still working on it, but we're getting there. And that's the thing. We're getting there and we're making these positive changes. And so I just have my kids wait it out, and then I have them make a healthy choice. And the other thing is, I said I wasn't going to add something, but I am. Before bedtime, okay, right before bed is not enough time for your body to like digest and process all this food it just ate. So I really recommend cutting it, like if you can, a couple hours before the bedtime. Sometimes that can't happen. So, kids, they don't understand all of that just yet, so I let it slide a little bit more. But for me, I really do try to eat not more than 2 hours before bed, because it can actually wire you and really cut down on the quality of sleep you have. And especially if you're looking to like shed weight, lose weight, okay, your kids may not be, but maybe you are, eating, within that 2 hours is fine, but anything beyond that, really limit that and try not to do that if you can. And encourage your children not to too. And that, you lead by example. They see what you model. And so over time they'll start to understand like, oh, and later on they'll say, oh, Mom, Dad, I see why you did that. So, limiting those snacks is going to be, huge. And if they are going to choose something, I definitely suggest, so you're not tandem fueling, meaning eating two, like a fat and a sugar, like combined kind of thing, and too much protein or too much of one way or the other. Or it's okay if you're going to burn it immediately, but if you're going to bed, you're not going to burn it. So I suggest like maybe a really healthy yogurt choice, like maybe a partial yogurt, maybe one of the really like smaller ones, the little mini ones, or like a Baby Bell cheese or something like that, with like, let's say a raspberry or a strawberry or a blueberry or something like that. If you are going to do it, will be a healthier option, and the yogurt will actually help you to digest the food. So it's something actually really good to eat before bed if you're going to have something. So I definitely suggest that, just because of the live cultures it has. It's really good for the gut. And you really want to work on healing the gut, and you want to keep your children's gut healthy, because what all these choices are really doing, it's beyond healthy too. It's a matter of keeping immune support up. And especially when your children are around a lot of other children, they may or may not necessarily be getting all of that immune support that they need. And so in order to help them fight illness, especially if they haven't already had it and there are germs and stuff in the air, and you can wash your hands. You can do lots of preventative things. You can use hand sanitizer, but eating right is another way to do that. And keeping your immune health up will help your defenses to fight against those germs. And so your kids, not always, but they may be able to fight it off a little bit more, maybe not get sick quite as often with a lot of things spreading, especially when they're younger and they're just starting to attend school yearly. And a lot of these things can happen, and kids can pass things no matter how prepared you are, no matter how many times you pull out the essential oils or drink water, right? Just really making these changes over time not only saves on the budget, it not only saves on your time spent in the kitchen, and not only can you make it fun, but you can do it in a way that really protects your overall health, because again, you're being preventative so that you can avoid the aftermath later. Because what we do, even as children and even in our early adulthood, will truly determine, I know that there's predisposition genetically speaking, but we can help fight that and curtail some of that, and maybe add a few years to our lifespan. And who doesn't want to do that, right? And modeling these things to our children is teaching them wisdom. It's teaching them knowledge. It's teaching them, how to make healthier choices in life. And they'll look back at those things and take those things with them when they're no longer under your roof. And most of us, we only get 18 years with our children before they want to start exploring their own life. And some of them, if we gave them the choice, they'd do it sooner than that. So you only have so much time to make a difference in your children, in your children's lives. And you never know. Like, why are we a society that waits to be reactionary rather than being proactive? because these diseases don't always wait until 40s and 50s and 60s. Sometimes these things are happening at 3, 4, 5, and 6 years old, and we don't know why. Okay, sometimes we do, but not always. I can tell you that your gut health is tied to whether or not, it's strictly correlated as to whether or not you're getting diseases and illnesses and different things. So the healthier that you can eat, the better you can take care of your gut, the more likely, you're not going to always be in a state of ketosis where your body's in perfect health, has a perfect pH balance, meaning that disease can't hit it, okay? But more of the time than not, you're going to be able to fight that much more, okay, without a medication and a prescription, because those cost too, okay? Not all of us have great insurance where all those things are covered. And sometimes we pay really high premiums and we don't get that much out of it. Okay, that's a lot of people. That's most of America. Okay, and so why? Why put yourself through paying high premiums that you're paying already and then have to fill a prescription? And then half the time you don't even know what's in your prescription. You don't really know what all those chemicals are going to do long term. I'm not against getting medical help. I'm a firm believer that there are times we should be aggressive about using our medical resources, and that doctors and medical staff, they can really genuinely help us, and they can save lives, and they have saved lives, and they'll continue to save lives. So definitely use discretion, use knowledge and wisdom when doing that. I'm just simply saying, rather than putting, like cough syrups have a lot of sugars in them too. Allergy medicine can have a lot of sugar in them. If you're naturally taking care of your body, you're helping to prevent those things, and you're also fighting cavities and other issues because you're eating healthier, and it's actually strengthening your teeth and the enamel that's on your teeth. So there's a lot of reasons to teach and train your children to eat healthy. Anyway, I think that I've kept you guys long enough. I didn't realize all this was just going to come flying out of my mouth. Evidently, I had a lot to share with you today. But anyway, I really just thank you kindly so much for joining in. It's really been fun. Health is just something I love talking about, and my children too. And I love the idea. I don't know about you, but I love the idea of helping so many moms out there, because I just thought, moms are organized because they have to be, but I'm learning how many moms are not organized and don't have these skills of meal planning and picking a day and picking 20 to 30 minutes and setting that time aside to do these things. And so it can be tough. So just give yourself some grace, love on yourself, and, maybe you picked up a tip that maybe you don't want to apply everything, but maybe you picked up on one or two things that might be helpful for you. That's my goal. And hopefully you can apply these to your everyday life and have fun with it and try different things. We can definitely share some recipes and things, make it fun. I would love that, actually. And there's lots of different topics we're going to do, so just stay tuned and I will let you know. And listen, if you're really looking at let's say you're nursing or a pregnant mom, or you've just got a lot of children in your home and you're looking to save some time, you're looking for a way to meal plan, maybe you're looking for a way to make some changes within your diet. Maybe you're not struggling to make some of the choices. Maybe it's just expensive, or maybe you're not sure how to go about it and you're overthinking it. I really want to help you simplify some of these things. I want to help you find the path that works for you to get your family on board and be healthier overall. Because let's say you and the kids can be healthy, but maybe your husband's not. Whatever that looks like, I don't know. Maybe your kids are picky eaters. They have a lot of dietary restrictions. Maybe you're just looking for some ideas on recipes, whatever. However this message has spoken to you today. If you're having some sort of issue or just have further questions, or if I can be supportive of you somehow, you guys, I totally want to connect. Please don't be a stranger. If you feel that this video benefited you or could benefit somebody else, do me a favor, because I really want to expand the way that I help people and help them have quality life. I'm not just in it to make a profit for my business. No. That's not really my goal. My goal is actually to bring value to you on the table 2 days a week. Maybe more if we get to that point. But I just want to test out 2 days a week for now, because that's a lot with my schedule, and I'm getting clients and things are adding up, and I only have so many time units in my day that I can really stay this focused with you. So, but I do want to help you. And I would love to get you in on my schedule and help you in any way that I can, even if it's just praying for wisdom on decisions to make. But I'm going to be doing some things. I'm moving forward with this boot camp. If you'd like to add some workouts and stuff in with the way that you eat, let's say you eat healthy, but you just need to incorporate working out. I mean, whatever this really looks like for you, I'm going to leave my contact information in the details there to this thread. Okay, so when I post this video, it's going to get uploaded eventually. You'll be able right away, don't worry about it, to respond, but feel free to share the video first of all. But I'll leave my contact information in the comment section below to the thread of this video. And if this is you, I really want to give you an opportunity to reach out to me. This is an open call to say, Tara, I really want some ideas. What do you think? Even just to bounce off some ideas. You know, whatever that looks like. You and I, we need to connect, okay? So there will be a place to do that. I'll leave that in the comment section. I want you to do that, okay? I want you to fill out your name and your email address. I want you to reserve a 45-minute free consult with me, okay? That doesn't mean you're obligated or committed to anything. It just means you and I are having a chat. I need to get you in on my schedule. My time is limited. I have 3 children. 2 of them are in 2 different school districts. It gets crazy. But with scheduled time, I have time to connect with you, and I want to help you do that. And I want to help you get on track because that's my heart. So I'll leave that information in the comment section. Please reserve your slot so we can connect personally, or if you're having trouble figuring out how to do that, please, 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 please reach out to me privately. Even if we're not friends on Facebook or social media somewhere, I use Instagram too. My email will even be there. You can reach out to me by email, okay? Or you can reach out to me if you have my messenger details. And let's say we're friends on Facebook. Even if we're not, I do check my others folder. So please do not hesitate to get on there and say, hey, Tara, I want to connect with you. I don't know how to do that. Can I get in your schedule? Let's find a time. Trust me. If Tara says, Tara will do. You're going to learn this over time. If Tara says, Tara will do. It may not be right that second, but I will reach back out to you. And if we schedule a time, I'm committed to partnering with you at that time. I'm committed to partnering with you on getting better about your health in your everyday life. It's been really great to be here with you today. Thank you so much again. Just as a reminder, go ahead and set a reminder in your phones and your social media somewhere. We have a date together on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The topic has yet to be announced, but stay tuned. I will be giving you some heads up and some reminders on what we're going to cover. So I will look forward to seeing you again Thursday. Just put it in your reminders for right now that we have a date on Facebook Live at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been a pleasure. Be blessed. Have a great rest of your day. And until Thursday, take care. Bye for now.